two, check 1 2. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Perfection takes time. It takes time for perfection. I was doing some rearranging, so if the house look a little bit crazy, don't worry about it. How y'all doing tonight? Are y'all in the building tonight? Press 7 if you can hear me. I want to make sure that you're in the building tonight. Tonight is going to be very educational, family. I really want you to know that this is going to be a phenomenal presentation. Are you able to hear me? If you're able to hear me, throw that thumbs up. Yep. Somebody throw that thumb. Okay. So y'all can hear me? All right. Y'all ready? Family, this is going to be, y'all need to share this with a friend. This is going to be one of them ones you will not forget. All right? This is going to be it. I'm going to share it one more time. Yep, I'm going to share it one more again. You follow me? Let me share it one more again. And get me one more slide. Oh yeah. So family, I'm ready now, and I think I'm ready now. Oh, this the one right here. I'm still getting slides, man. Let me get one more. Are y'all familiar with this guy? So listen, family. I gotta admit something. Can I admit something for you? I gotta admit something. If y'all don't believe me, I'll show it to you. You know what I mean? If y'all don't believe me, I will show it to you. So one day, right? I was just chilling. And can I tell y'all a story? Starlight say my new way to celebrate. Thank you, Starlight. But just remember, I keep telling people, y'all got to be careful with YouTube. But thank you so much for your support. But let me share this with you, fam. This is going to be very enlightening. It's going to be funny, but it's going to be enlightening too. All right? It's going to be funny. Thank you so much for your support. This is what they get mad at when we got some strong Morse World TV citizens that will support financially, and those who are learning that will support with a share. I mean, they get real upset about that. You know what I mean? So we're gonna celebrate the summer solstice. So family, Crip, do I need to get the music going? Do I need to, or you want me to just get into it? Man, let's just get the music going. Let's get it going. I ain't gonna stop until the song drop. I got some water. This gonna be a good show, family. This gonna be a good one, family. I'm telling you what I know. Check. That's right. I'll be that more, yes, you gon' remember. This is gonna be a good one. I'm lying till the law call my number. You a friend of the Moors, then you a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet over Drew Ali, who was the first to remind you and bind you back to Morocco, the mountains, Mississippi, and Quebec. Told you wasn't black, proved it was straight facts. You tripping off China, you tripping off that. Now here we go again, acting like you a slave. The same people talk European how to bathe. And looking at women buying European hair. No love for self, but you the men really care. Hell now, cause they got a love for Europe. Whole generation chasing pills, weed and syrup. Yeah, they love those guys. Gucci, Kodak, Amigos, Ross, Lucy. But when the love for the woman look like your mother, I guess they say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now cypher, I'll be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that boy you gon' remember. Taharkabey front line till the law call my number. I be that boy you gon' remember. I'ma be that boy you gon' remember, that's right. I be that boy you gon' remember. Taharkabey front line till the law call my number. Scholars holler, this era for the worker. You ain't building on the ground, then you worse than a twerker. You look and sound good, but that's only on the surface. Probably working for the people. Now tell me what's your purpose. Ain't worried about your homie, but know that I know every move that I can stand. He ain't my bro, but you know I ain't slow. I seen it all before. How they try to kill the prophet, it was all for show. And some got it right now, don't say that I'm not down. I'm coming for my vast estate, I want my town, my sheriff, my stores, my school, my nation. Sick and tired of the procrastination and debate. Love is hate when love is the savior. You don't love yourself, so you can't love your neighbor. That's why you can't fight and marry out of your race. If you ain't for Moore's world, then get out of my face. Cause Chinese love China, Italians love Italy. If you used to love the Moore's world, come on and build it with me. Let's go. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. Taharkabey front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. Taharkabey front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. Be more. I be that more you gon' remember. That town. I be that more you gon' remember. Taharkabey front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. LA. I be that more you gon' remember. New York. I be that more you gon' remember. Taharkabey front line till the law call my number.
All right. Enough with the pleasantries. Oh my, I'm tripping. Enough with the pleasantries. So first of all, I wanna warn you that in reality, this guy is very insignificant in the big scheme of things. All right, and I'm real serious about this. He's real insignificant. I raise it significant. He's real insignificant in the big scheme of things. You understand what I'm saying? So don't take this as this guy is somebody. No, he's not. He's not nobody. He's not nobody. He's want to be somebody, but he's not nobody. Now, one of the things that I want to share with you is that every time that I do a show, I love to do a show where I can actually bring a lesson out of. So let me give you the background of how we get here. And please share this because this is going to get good. Let me give the background of how we get here. We get here because, turn my mic back up. How I sound now. I just turned it back up. I seen it. I seen the levels. I seen my levels. So the way that we get here, right, is I'm covering the story of reparations. I'm looking at my levels. I'm covering the story of reparations, right? So in me covering the story of reparations, I'm actually looking at all of these reparation entities that claim that they're about reparations. You understand what I'm saying? And so I looked at ADOS. I looked at ADOS. I looked at FBA. And at one point, I thought that the Freedmans was the most promising position for trying to establish themselves to receive reparations. And this is why. This is why. When you look at the Freedmen's Bureau that was created by Europeans, you can see that was a setup, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. However, when you get people in this era of time understand the setup, you would think that if they're going to establish themselves as a Freedmen's Bureau, you would think that they will understand that that was a setup, and what they're going to do is control everything from the ground up, and they'll be in a position to say this is yay, this is no, and this is a go. You understand what I'm saying? Now, the Freedmen's Bureau would be a place like the motor vehicle. You go to the motor vehicle or the DMV, you get your license, you walk out, and you keep it pushing. Well, the Freedmen's Bureau, I'm thinking that in this era of time, they say, okay, we set up a Freedmen's Bureau. These are the rules that we make. And this is how we establish ourselves, and this what we would redress for. But nah, that ain't what's going on. What's going on is these people are still asking for permission to set up structures in order to make a claim for reparations. That's number one. Number two, the reason that we know that is because when we look at California, when they went to Newsom, they asked Newsom for a Freedmen's Bureau. And he gave it to him, but he only gave it to him for the study of the effects of slavery and reparations in the form of social services. No money. And that's what he said. I didn't say that. So what that tells me is that they're still seeking the government to set up a Freedmen's Bureau and control it from the ground up. And at the end of the day, we see what happened when that happened before. When you look at history. And if you don't know, you're going to know tonight. If you don't know, you will know tonight. And so once I found out, I'm like, man, these people are repeating the same history. So I did the show about the Freedmen's Bureau. I never mentioned Lord ABBA one time. If you don't know Lord ABBA, this is Lord ABBA. I never mentioned him one time in my first presentation. But because he is so temperamental and unstable, he went on a tirade. Oh my goodness, he was upset. This dummy don't know what he's talking about. This stupid Moor, and I mean, he just went on. He one of the reason I left the Moorish Science Temple of America. He went crazy. I said, good goodness gracious, this fool, he's not coming to refute anything I say. He's just cussing me out. And so my response to that, bro, you sound like Sinetta TV back in 2015, 2013. Bro, grow up. I disagree. Show me where I'm wrong. Press 7 if y'all hear me. Show me where I'm wrong. And then we can go from there. So what he would do is he would say, bring me to the show. I said, let me show you. I said to him, anytime. This was the post he put out. He said, I didn't know what I was talking about. And he said, check the Freedmen Bureau record. And in this post, he said he wanted to come on the show. And so I said, no problem. Okay, come on the show and show us yours. Show us your records. I said, I have an opening anytime you're ready, except Friday. Anybody know? They know Friday. I don't do Friday because I'm a Moorish American Muslim, and I'm going to be in the temple on Friday. Whether you like it or not, I'm going to be there. You know what I mean? My family going to be there. You know what I mean? But he says, indeed. You know what I mean? He says, indeed. Now, when I do the show, the next show on the Freedmen's Bureau, he said, I'm scared to have him on the show. And I was supposed to call him and give him a date. Now I think this guy is delusional. Because as you can see, I say, come on the show and show us yours. And I'm talking about his records connected to the Freedmen's Bureau or his lineage. And I said, I have an opening anytime you're ready, except Friday. He comes on the second video and says, you never invited me. Huh? I'm saying to myself now, this guy's a nut. This guy's delusional. I mean, this guy's delusional. I invited him on the show. He never got with me. I said I'm open anytime except Friday. He never got back. When I did the second show, he goes on another tirade. I mean, because I know the guy is temperamental and very sensitive, I do not. Thank you, Hope. Hope always there. Hope. It's entertainment at Page. It's entertainment. And that's what this is today, but we're going to learn through the entertainment too. Because I know he's temperamental and super sensitive, you know what I mean? I'm not taking it personal that he's going crazy. No way, no how am I taking it personal that he's losing his mind. Don't make no difference to me. I mean, talk all you want. So the next show that I do, he gets even more turned up. I said, good goodness gracious. I mean, I said, this dude is a nut. This time he gets turned up, and this is what he says. This is exactly what I wanted. Now, this is the leader of the freedman's world. Listen to this leader of the freedman's world, family. He goes on the social media page and said, this is exactly what I wanted. This be a jealous-hearted lame a dude Taharkabey to start going at me and putting my names in his video. This dude didn't. Now he gone super crazy. I mean, this is how super crazy he goes, right? This what he say. This is what he say. This is the leader. This is the leader of the freedman world. Listen to this crazy guy. He says, he's sitting in the wings watching as our success pile up. And the very concepts that we're building on, which grew out of the understanding of Noble Drew Ali's teachings. I'm going to prove that wrong tonight. This didn't grow out of Noble Drew Ali's teachings. On the Reconstruction era. This is what he say. This is what he say. This is what he say. This be a black-hearted snake. Think he can post pictures of himself and his children and family. I've always post pictures of my children and my family and my wife because I want people to see the family structure. Has nothing to do with you. Everybody's seen my son Taji grow up in front of the camera. My son Taji is tall as me now. What is this guy talking about? Anyway, let me set the show up so you can understand. He says, this be a black-hearted snake think he can post picture of himself and his children and family, but these are but apples that are lovely to the eye and pleasant to the senses. But at the core, this be a dude is full of bitterness and gall. The grand gaslighter. This dude is a fool, man. The grand gaslighter, he says. He said, the grand gaslighter is about to lie on me for weeks. And when it is all said and done, you'll see a new version of me is on a different time. I am not Sheik Way L. You all disrespected. And this B.A. clown is going to be an example that I make. Mark my word. Ooh. 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 So family, with that, I cannot do the show. I'm scared. I'm scared to life. Family, I can't do this show. I can't do that. This guy here, did you hear what he said? I am scared. You hear what I said? Y'all think I should go on with the show? Because I'm a little bit shook right now. Anyway. Yeah, I think we're going to have to go on with the show. I think we might have to go on with the show. Because y'all done came here, I might as well go on with it. But anyway, family, that's what he wrote just the other day. Anyway, Facebook took that down. My bad. How did I do that? Facebook took that down. Facebook took that down, and he really is upset about that. Today he posted something somebody sent me that he's in a gym boxing, talking about I break jaws. I said, God is gracious, you do? Anyway, I ain't never witnessed any. Well, let's start off from the top. This guy here, listen to this. This guy here Deshaun Wayell. Do y'all know the history of this guy? For all of y'all that think that this is something new, this guy is an old school flipper flopper. And what I mean by that, this guy has been in every school of learning trying to become a leader and failed miserably. Listen, in what I understand from this guy is at one point, let me get my slide. So let's start from the beginning. What I understand about this guy, what I come to see about this guy, right? At one point, the guy want to be the OG type of guy. You understand what I'm saying? He want to be the OG. He want to be recognized as somebody. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm suspecting, let me do my screen share real quick. I'm suspecting that this guy was trying to be Tukey at some point. Now, my point is, I don't think it worked out too well for him to be Tukey. I mean, I think he was trying to be Tukey at some point. And I'm honest with you, I don't think it worked out too well. I mean, when you see him right here, it looks like he's trying to be Tukey. Straight out of Far Rock. Now, if anybody know Far Rock is a New York territory. So I think he's trying to be Tukey right here, right? He's a tough guy. He's a real tough guy, and I am scared. I promise you, I'm scared, right? So with that being said, right, I'm super shook. Make no mistake about it. Super shook. Make no mistake about it. I mean, anyway, I guess there he's trying to be Tukey, and then as his life begins to progress, at some point, I'm suspecting that at some point he wanted to be a 5%er. You follow what I'm saying? So you can see him here with the 5%er, the nation of the gods and earth. If that looks like a fez and a tassel, but that is the fashion statement of the nation of the gods and earth. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? He might can fight real good because he ain't got air mark on his face. Look at him. He ain't got air mark on his face. So he probably can fight. I believe him. But anyway, this is when he was stay home from COVID. I mean, this was when he was stay home from COVID, nations of gods and earth. He was a God body now, but he said stay home and save lives because he was a God body, but he was taking the needle in order not to get ill from COVID. But he God now. He God. You know, anybody know about the nation of the gods and earth? I mean, the maker, the owner, the creator of planet Earth, father of civilization, God of the universe. That's what he was representing right here. That's what that represent. That kufi with the tassel. That's who he was. So I want you to follow me now. He went from Tukey to nation of the gods and earth. All right? Y'all got me? One second. Let me bring him on back. Let me bring you on back. All right. Let me get him on out of here. See, I got to make it slow so y'all can follow me now. I got to take it slow so y'all can follow me now. All right. Hold up. We coming. We coming. I want you to follow this really, really clear. All right. I want you to follow this really, really clear. So then what he would do, he will go from Tukey to the nation of the gods and earth, right? Somebody. What was his next stop? Come on, multiple choice. Nation of Islam, Moorish Science, or Dr. York. Multiple choice. Nation of Islam, Moorish Science, or Dr. York. Multiple choice. While you looking, I'm going to share this real quick. There it is. He went from that to join Dr. York, the new Wapian. All right? He joined the new Wapo. There you go. He joined Dr. York. I'm going to show you how this guy, he joins Dr. York. Now, he says he's mastered these lessons. He joins Dr. York, right? Now, hold up. Now, after that, he joins a group called Marrakesh. All right? Now, let me break this down to you.
Because the sheriff had violated. He just busted in the crib and grabbed me from a warrant trying to demonstrate this Moorish sovereignty stuff. So, I was successful. I got my case dismissed. But nevertheless, the brother Brandon, whom you all know as Cheyenne, hit me up and said, we were doing a lawsuit. Would you like to file together as a class action? I said, man, no doubt, because me and that brother have been through battle. In that movie, The Matrix.
Sovereign citizen more. We're doing it again. He demonstrated the sovereign citizen more.
Because the sheriff had violated. He just busted in the crib and grabbed me from a warrant trying to demonstrate this Moorish sovereignty stuff. So, I was successful.
Stop there.
I got my case dismissed. But
he was a Moorish sovereign citizen more. Now, I want you to pay attention now. I'm going somewhere with this.
Nevertheless, the brother Brandon, whom you all know as Cheyenne, hit me up and said...
So that's the sovereign citizen more. He was a sovereign citizen more. Now, I want y'all to follow me now before we get into this. And for all of those that follow him and think he's a leader, you just as crazy as him. Because we ain't done yet. We just getting started. This don't stop. This don't stop. All right? This do not stop. Watch this. All right. So from the sovereign citizen more, at some point, he joins the Moorish Science Temple of America. But hold up. Let's talk about how that happens. All right? We're going to talk about how that happens. How does he join the Moorish Science Temple of America? But first, let me throw this back out there real quick. Let me see this. Listen to this.
What we were doing into a religious aspect. So we called ourselves the Marrakesh Caliphates of America or something. I can't really remember. It was so many different name changes, but that's what happens when you're scheming and scamming people. You got to keep changing up the name.
So he joined a group that he claimed was scheming and scamming. But if I show the whole video, and I'm going to re-upload it. If I show the whole video, it shows you that he brought so many people. According to him, he brought so many people into the same people he called scheming and scamming. You feel what I'm saying? But hey, tomato. So he's with this group, Marrakesh. The next thing he claims to be with, is the Moorish Science Temple of America. Now, family, this where it gets good. All right? This is where it gets good. When he joins the Moorish Science Temple of America, let me give you a little bit about myself. Keep going. I joined the Moorish Science Temple of America in 1990. I came in through the leadership, which is called the Moorish Communication Assistance Office. It's a local demonstration here in Baltimore. Got in trouble, met some Moors, and that's how I came through, right? And been proclaimed Moorish American ever since. I never jumped ship. I studied. I mean, it is what it is. And so ultimately, I would be initiated in what we call the Adapt Chamber. I would be appointed a sheikh, a grand sheikh, a divine minister. Here's my papers on the wall. Over there. See that paper over there? That is my Adapt papers right there. All right? And Starlight, nice to see you in the building because I'm going to explain this to the people. Those are my Adapt papers right there from David Bailey-Hill. David Bailey-Hill is no longer with us. I've moved forward to try to reestablish that what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali taught, and we're striving. That is my one of authority from one of the temples, temple number 22 that I was the Grand Sheikh of. One second. Hold on. Hold on. This is my divine ministry papers right here. These are my divine ministry papers right here. You can see that? So as you can see, I have credentials, right? Now, the thing is that the brother who gave me my credentials was an elder. He passed form now. And a lot of the organization has fell apart, and now I'm on the job to try to bring it back to its pristine state. I mean, that's just what it is. I'm not a part of any of these groups. I'm trying to bring it back to the state of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And hopefully we can. We can have schools, we can have et cetera, whatever. But that's neither here nor there. Now, to the point, the guy who gave me my credentials, not that it makes a big difference. Not that it make a big difference because I don't live off those credentials, but I'm ready to make a point. There's only, let me pull this up real quick, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So here's the Prophet Noble Drew Ali right here. Why are you no longer the GS of Temple 22? Because we reestablished in 22. I still hold the charter. I still hold the name of Temple 22. We reestablishing it. But that's another story. Hold on. Let me get busy. Let me get busy. With that being said, but 22 is in Baltimore, so it ain't going nowhere. Let me pull this up real quick. So as you can see, and I did this before, I want to make a point, and I want you to follow me real quick. So as you can see, do you see this guy right here? This guy's name is Emil, right? He was appointed by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali while the Prophet Noble Drew Ali was living, right? Now I want you to remember that this do not make me anybody. I'm telling you right now, it does not make me anybody, right? But I want to show you I'm really just making a point. This here is his grandson, which he married his grandmother. And this is David Bailey-Hill, who made me an adapt and a sheikh, divine minister, etc. He's passed on now. So when you look at, and this doesn't make me anybody, because we got other people that has been made adapts in this order too. You feel what I'm saying? So you got Prophet Noble Drew Ali, you got Emil, and then his grandson is who actually appointed me Grand Sheikh, Divine Minister, etc. Right? That's how it. Now listen. That doesn't make me any better than anybody. That doesn't make me anything, because guess what? The movement is still apart. We need to build this thing. But I want to show the reason I'm pointing this out, the only reason I'm pointing this out, is one reason I'm pointing this out. Because my credentials, even when I stepped to establish the virtual Moorish Science Temple of America, brother always had my back, always had my support, even unto death. He's had my support. You know what I mean? But I'm not using that to validate me. But what I want to share with you is that I want to show you how this guy claimed he was made a sheik. Listen to this.
Yes, sir. The same brother, Harura Nisiel, I got a text one day because I was propagating the faith. And being that Haru, no matter what anybody says, still saw me as a member of Temple 19, decided to hit me up and said, I want to make you a sheik. I initially told him no. I said, because.
Now, let me explain to you. Temple 19 is a temple in Atlanta, Georgia, that is established. Let me show you. Let me show you. I got to make sure you get this. Hold up. In Atlanta, Georgia, that is established by this guy here. He received a charter from a guy that allegedly broke into the same guy I told you to house, put him in a chokehold, and stole some charters allegedly. That's how the story goes. So the guy here named Haru Reniciel. Now, so he holds a charter from this guy that allegedly was stolen out the house. But wait. It gets worse. It gets worse. Listen to this.
As I will not pay any homage to Dawid Ali El.
Now, Lord Abba saying that he would not pay homage to Dawid Ali El. And he said because he challenged him about Marrakush in the whole video. However, the story goes is the way that these people are established was from the left side of the field anyway. No legitimate established sheik, no legitimate established divine minister, no legitimate nothing, right? But listen how they made him a sheik though. Listen to this. Listen to this.
Brothers I was building with out there, I was just spreading the knowledge, trying to get something moving out there in Atlanta. And so I went to Harura Nisiel, and he gave me my sheik credentials at that barbershop. He handed them to me in my hand. Now the text,
he gave him sheik credentials in a barbershop in his hand. That ain't how you become a grand sheik. That ain't how you become anointed, appointed, or consecrated into the Moorish Science Temple. In the bar, he texted me and handed me my papers in my hand. That don't make you a grand sheik. At the barber shop. He texts me and look how adamant he is about this process. That's not the process.
At that barbershop, he handed them to me in my hand. Now the text let it be known that he wanted to make me a sheik and divine minister. And I pray Allah that one day I could get my hands on those transcripts.
He need a text to prove that he was made a sheik in a barbershop? That he walked in a barbershop and a piece of paper was handed to him and now he's a sheik? You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. Then, as you can see what he's wearing,
so the world could see,
he began to call himself Supreme Grand Sheik. In other words, he stepped off and created his own demonstration. And people can say that about me too. I want to build this thing, so I'm going to be fair. I'm out here trying to build this thing. But look at the origin of my credentials, right? This fool, and I say fool, look how he's sitting in this chair right here. I'm going to stop this right here. Out of the barbershop. This is how crazy this fool is. This fool takes a picture, right? Look at this picture. You see how he's sitting in this picture? This is how crazy this man is. Look how he's sitting in this picture. You know what he's trying to sit like in a lawn chair? He's trying to sit like Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Look at him. This guy's insane. Look at him. Look closely. Look very closely. This fool trying to sit like Noble Drew Ali in a lawn chair on a sidewalk. This fool. I guess that's what happened when you get made a grand chic in the barbershop. This fool crazy, man. This fool think he Noble Drew Ali in a flimsy lawn chair. Oh, man. Those are the little ones where if you're too heavy, the little plastic, I'm about to cry, the little plastic leg will bend up on you. The little plastic leg will bend up on you and you fall. Oh, your drunk uncle fall down in them chairs. And then fool, your drunk uncle be at the cookout. He done drank one too many, and he leaned back in that joint, and boom! Raise your hand if your drunk uncle ever fell in one of them chairs. You know he did. Oh, y'all hold it now. Y'all hold it now. Yeah. Old drunk Uncle Pete, he done got one too many and leaned back in that joint. Boom! Goodness gracious. That's right, Takaya. These people crazy, man. These people crazy for real. They not crazy for play. They crazy for real, for real. Now look, when he got no respect in the Moorish Science Temple of America because he believed that he's smarter than everybody. When you believe, hey family, please take this advice from me. When you believe that you're smarter than everybody, you're probably the dumbest person in the room. The one who believes that they're smarter than everybody is most likely the dumbest person in the room. Because no one is smarter than everybody. But whenever you make a company of people and you have to be the leader, you're not a smart guy. You're not a smart guy. Listen, family, always remember this when you see people. If every time they come around that they got to be the leader, they're not smart at all. In fact, being a leader of something is so burdensome if you don't know how to have the proper people skills. Like, sometimes you got to tell people that you really like, that you love as a brother or sister, that you wrong, fam. You can't do that. That ain't it, bro. That ain't it, sis. No, don't do it. Especially in the Moorish Science Temple of America. It's so much misinformation out here that I got to tell people all the time. Nah, that ain't cool. Nah, leave that alone. Fortunately, in our administration, we are brother, sister, brotherhood, fam, and it ain't no harm, no foul. Everybody understand that we're trying to build this. Everybody understand that it's not a whole bunch of us, but know what? Our heart is in the right place, and that's all that counts. But this guy here, everywhere he goes, he gotta be the leader. And so to break into the reparations movement, the first place he goes is ADOS. Nobody respect him in Moorish circles. A lot of people mad at me in Moorish circles, but they respect my Moorish lineage. They respect where I come from. They might don't like me because I'm so vocal. They might don't like me because I'm all in your face, but they respect my Moorish lineage. They respect the elders. They respect where I come from. They whether they say it or not. Even the ones that don't like me, they respect it. It is what it is. And when I started doing Morris World TV, I try to put everyone on. That's how I got the video of him. I try to put everyone on. So he joins ADOS. You hear what I said? He joins ADOS, right? Just like the other moist lips did to creep in and appropriate it. Family. To creep in and appropriate it. There you go. He joins that. When he found out that he couldn't be a drop, hold up, wait a minute. He joins in with that. Wait a minute. Hold up. This dude gonna be something next week. And the week after. See, it was something in that barber chair that messed him up. Now, wait till we get into the lessons. Wait till we get into the lesson of the demonstration of the Freedmen's Bureau. But because he could not overrun ADOS, and you can best believe he tried. And I guarantee you, if you talk to Yvette Brown, she don't like to throw stuff out there. I guarantee you, she would confirm that this guy is no different than Moist Lips, as he appropriated all of her ideas. And as Moist Lips took him to FBA, he took him to Freedman. Press 7 if you with me so far. Press 7 if you with me so far. The only difference is that Freedman had its own structure. So when we look at him, we're able to look at the structure of Freedman and see what it is. I mean, we're able to look at the structure and see what it is. It's the same thing like the Moorish Science Temple of America. Many people can get mad at me, but you can look at the structure of the Moorish Science Temple of America and you can ask yourself, do Taharkabey demonstrate what the prophet demonstrated? You got something to go by. So I can look at the Freedman demonstration and measure him. I can look at the Freedman demonstration and measure him. We got something to measure him by. But let me rewind a little bit. Nobody, and I mean nobody, ever took him serious. This is 2016. He's talking about the Brooklyn Moors. They put a video out on Moors Justice, death to Lord ABBA, Moors Justice, death to Fraud ABBA. They called him Fraud ABBA back then. They called him Fraud ABBA. Now, I think Lord ABBA got some excellent research. Family, I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I think Lord ABBA has some excellent research. However, you can have excellent research and then you can have some flawed research. That makes your excellent research look like garbage. You understand what I'm saying? Lord ABBA got some good research on certain things, like the Fez and the Canaanites. He got some good research. But his bad research on the history of the Moorish Science Temple of America, his bad research on how to become a sheik, it makes everything look crazy. Even when he started talking about the Freedmans, it sound good. Until you start to when you pull the layers back. Cryptonomics say excellent research mixed with flawed research is a scam. And normally that's how scams work though. You gotta tell one strong truth and you can get past with 5 strong lies. know what I'm saying? When a person is so arrogant, they would sit in a lawn chair like this and take a picture as if they Prophet Noble Drew Ali, you know good and well they good and crazy. You already know they good and crazy. Like, hey, ain't no fixing this. You good and crazy. Yeah, ain't no fixing this. Now, so the whole thing in a nutshell is this. Let me get it back up. The whole thing in a nutshell is Lord ABBA don't want no smoke for real. He said I could invite him in the show. This is 2021. Listen to this, family. Lord ABBA versus Taharkabey. Freedman versus Morris Science. This is in 2021. Y'all see the date? Lord ABBA, stop fronting. You don't want none. If you do want it, let's do it live in Atlanta. I will debate and refute all your flawed Morris Science claims and misunderstandings. Taharkabey versus Lord ABBA. The Freedman versus Morris Science. I will even finance the venue. Just show up. So all of this tough talk about I'm dumb and crazy, I'm this, that, and the third. ABBA, I said I will pay for the venue. Like, it's like you can't remember none of this stuff. Like, I don't understand. Like, why can't you remember this? I tagged you in it. Uh-oh, let me calm down. Dr. Assar here, let me calm down. But no, I tagged you in it. I said I will pay for the venue. I invited you in May. Bro, you don't want none of this smoke. You don't want none of this. Ain't Arno TV said this brother had us, but we was in prison. And when I came home, I went to work. And for him to do us like he did, messed up. And I think this is a brother that was in Michigan that was trying to ride with ABBA, and ABBA left him on the battlefield. You follow what I'm saying? But with that being said, family, so let me rewind real quick. Before he went to ADOS, let's remember that he was a face on the House of Consciousness. He was there trying to get fame and reputation under Sinetta, even though Sinetta treated him like a pincushion. They would use him as a pincushion. In other words, they would bring all the people there to hype up Sinetta TV, and they would use him and anybody that could beat down Morris Science, as well as disrespect this guy. You know what I'm saying? They used him as a pincushion whenever they wanted some hype about Morris Science, whenever they wanted some hype about disrespected and a clown circus show. They will bring him and they will put him up against Ali Muhammad. They will put him up against some of the who else? Polite. They will put him up against these people that don't know Morris Science or the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali or the history thereof, but he was so inadequate on his teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali in the history. Like I said, he had a few lessons, but he was insufficient in it, and they would drag him. They would drag him. They would just drag him. And guess what? He will go back for more and more and more and more. Thinking that he's going to get some recognition as a scholar, thinking he's going to get some recognition as one who's in the know of the teachings of the Prophet, but it never happened. Because they was using them as a crash dummy. They was using them as a target. They was using them as that, okay, we need some hype. Call in ABBA. And he came every time. Listen, he was one of the faces of that, and it was an embarrassment. You feel me? It was an embarrassment. Hold on 1 second. Let me show you something. I'm going to stay here to the end tonight. Y'all ain't got to stay with me. I got to finish this. Let me pull something up real quick. I'm going to do this tonight. That's right. Because y'all tripping. Let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all something real quick. Yeah, this the real deal. I know y'all think it's a game, but it's not. We're going to show you the real deal tonight. Look at this. Let me show you this. He was one of the faces of building this fraud empire that has since have fallen. You know what I mean? It has since fallen. But look at this. Uh-oh. Let me get this one for you real quick. Let me get this one for you. Look at this. Look at this. Y'all see him right there? Y'all see him? Being the flunky. Y'all see him? If y'all don't see him, cause it look a little crazy, there you go, right there. In the black fez. Right there. Y'all see him? Being the flunky. A friend of his named Ali Bey, this fool always got the nerve to say he built Moorish World TV, because when I started Moorish World TV, he was one of the ones that was constantly on the show, and we would dispel some of the Moorish myths as it relates to sovereign citizen, etc., etc. What's funny to me is that this dude don't even know that he was on Moorish World. This is Moorish World TV. I started from scratch. And when I started Moorish World TV, I weaned y'all out. Because y'all just wanted to talk. Y'all didn't do no community work. Y'all wasn't doing no public service. Y'all just wanted to talk. I weaned all y'all out. I found out that y'all wasn't really about that smoke. Y'all wasn't really about doing no temple work. Y'all wasn't really about no community activism. Y'all wasn't really about that. You wanted to prove that your spitball can fly further than somebody else's, that your water was wetter than somebody else's, that your ice was colder than somebody else's. That was Moorish World. The channel is still up. The channel's still up. When I changed over to Moorish World TV, I left that over there. So when you start talking that you built Moorish World TV because we was talking about the improprieties within the Moorish Temple of America on Moorish World and maybe a few on Moorish World TV, why is it so hard for you to build something for yourself? Why is it so hard for y'all to build something for yourself but claim that you built something on Moorish World TV? Listen. Bro, you can't even, you put up a post that, and I did this today, from May the 22nd, Wayel. You got one like from you talking about slaves, you talking about the history of the ancestors. Nobody cares about what you talking about. You're not trustworthy because you flip-flop way too much. You got one like on your post, bro. Nobody cares about that on Facebook. On Twitter, you on Twitter for 5 hours with 900 views, bro. Now, it ain't all about the views. We all know that. But 5 hours, bro? 5 hours? Bro, we doing this for fun. This is exercise. We at the gym right now. We at Planet Fitness. This ain't serious. This is just something to do. and to teach people about the Freedmans, which I'm going to be getting to in a minute. I got about 45 more minutes on this show. So family, get some water. Get it in. Get it in. I got to dig just a little more. Now, ABBA posts this about me. Taharkabey don't know what the H-E-L-L he's talking about. This dude, Taharkabey, be freestyling non-sensual BS, right? Look at this. He got one comment. Watch this, family. You know the crazy thing about this? The one comment is me. I got Crip Mac Crip walking on it. Nobody cares what you're talking about, you crazy fool. Nobody cares. Nobody cares, bro. You got one comment. That comment is me. Bro, nobody cares what you're talking about. So you can make all the videos you want. Nobody cares. What good if you got information and nobody believe you? Nobody trust you. Nobody want to hear you. I am the only comment on your post, bro. Anyway, and shall we carry on? Now, with that being said, let me show you, in his own words, all the
so much of the information on the first read. On the first read, I had absorbed it, and I was breaking it down just from my experiences as being a father sinner, walking through the schools of Nuwapu, and all of the different teachings that I had gathered and tried to write myself over the years. All of my questions were answered. And so maybe about a year later, and I couldn't have been.
He said all his answer was answered by the way of the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's what he said. From all the schools of thought he went through, hey, everything I ever thought was answered. That's what he said.
So much of the information on the first read. On the first read, I had absorbed it, and I was breaking it down just from my.
On the first read, he absorbed the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Family, I've been in a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America in some way since. When I say some way, because I still live my life, and I've been dedicated for the last 15 years, something like that. But before then, I've been like 30 years, family. 30 years on the record. Hold up. I think I moved it. I got 30-year-old material in here somewhere. I was looking at it today. 30 years on the record. This fool said he read it for the first time and he got it. That's what he said.
So much of the information on the first read. On the first read, I had absorbed it, and I was breaking it down just from my experiences as being a father sinner, walking through the schools of Nuwapu, and all of the different teachings that I had gathered and tried to write myself over the years. All of my questions were answered. And so maybe about a year later, and I couldn't have been a year later.
Let me tell you something. Paige said maybe he's that smart. Let me tell you something. These teachings have so many layers to them that is impossible. There's too many layers. You can talk to somebody that's been a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America that's 70 years old. They still pulling back some of the layers. This guy tripping. Anyway, now let's get to the good part. Let me make sure I don't miss nothing before I get to the good part. This guy tripping, man. That's the bottom line. He done lost his mind. He done lost his everlasting mind. Now, I got to show one more thing real quick. He says on one of the posts, let me find it real quick. He says on one of the posts that myself, do I got it here? He says on one of the posts. So I do this lecture. I do this lecture called Islamism and I see it. I do this lecture recently called Islamism and Pan-Africanism, right? Islamism is Pan-African. That ain't the name of the lecture, but anyway. I talked about how basically in the lecture, and it'll be up soon, basically how, Islamism, teachers of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali actually agree with Pan-Africanism, right? And this guy, listen to this guy. Here we go. This is another bomber. Watch this. This guy recently put up a post that he's going to do this live stream. Right? This is what he said. Pan-African hustle. Why are Pan-Africans against reparation? If you want to see a thorough point-for-point rebuttal of the garbage that Taharkabey presented in the BS video he did out of jealousy, tune in to Tremaine Dukes Bay. You should have no doubt. Tune in, Tremaine. You should have no doubts after this. Pan-African hustle. The goofy thing about this is that he doesn't even know what I said in the presentation because it was locally done here in Baltimore and it hasn't been put out yet. How can he rebut something that ain't even pulled out yet? It ain't even put out yet. No one's seen it except those was at the lecture. How can he rebut something that I said about Pan-Africanism if it ain't even out yet? And he called it the Pan-African hustle. How? The lecture was free, sponsored by TNAT, Temple of New African Thought. I ain't asked for a dime. Where the hustle at? How you going to rebut something? And Pan-Africans ain't against reparation. You see, that's the same old bait and switch. Look at that. This fool say Pan-Africans and put it over my head. Why are Pan-Africans against reparations? You know what's funny about this guy, though? You know what's funny about this guy? When he was claiming Moorish, he's flying the red, black, and green in the background, and this is 2015. The harbinger, the forerunner, Marcus Garvey, left his lasting message. When I'm dead, wrap me in a mantle of red, black, and green around me. Hold up now. Hold up now. Hold up now. For in the new life I shall rise with God's grace and blessing lead the millions up to the heights of triumph with the colors you well know. Look for me in the whirlwind or the storm. Look for me all around you. When I see the red, black, when I see the RBG flag flying, I see the resurrection of Garvey myself, returning to the whirlwind of racial tension and the uprising of people in the South. This means that no more resurrection must take place for our people in the West. The final resurrection. Resurrection, new Moors, all Moorish, everything. This is Lord ABBA. But now he's going around acting like he has a problem with Pan-Africanism. Now he act like he gonna superimpose his concepts that Pan-Africanism is against reparations when that's nowhere near the truth. Everybody want their bread. But this guy is disingenuous. This guy is super disingenuous, and he got people following him. He got people following him. And of course, he know what Pan-Africanism is. He know what it is. Guess why? Because he did a lecture right here in Dallas. Right here. Introducing Grand Sheikh Way-El, Lord ABBA. Pan-African connection. Did you see it? Let me straighten it out for you. He called himself the leading researcher. Pan-African connection. He know what Pan-African is. He know what it is. But because he's on a new kick now, he's going to act like Pan-Africanism is the enemy. And he's going to act like whoever represent the ideal of Pan-Africanism, he's repeating the same talking points as ADOS and FBA. He's repeating this, but just before, family, are y'all still with me? Press 7 if you with me. He's repeating the same talking points. ADOS started the talking points. FBA picked up the talking points. And now he's picking up the talking points. Sensational. Super sensational. You know what's funny? You know what's real funny? He's talking about the freedmen. Oh, man, I'm cooking tonight. Let me cook. Let me cook. Let me cook. I said, let me cook. Let me cook. I got to cook. He's talking about Pan-Africanism. And he's talking about political stuff. What happened when he started the Moorish American Party? Guess what? This boy would throw anything to the wall and see if it sticks. He tried to create the Moorish American Party. See, in this day of digital, no, he's no Grand Sheik. You got to rewind and show you how he came up to be. Look. He tried to start a political movement called the Moorish American Party. Let me cook. See how crazy this guy's delusional. This guy's delusional. Think I'm arguing with him? This guy's delusional. He was just trying to start the Moorish American Party. This guy's delusional. He's like extremely delusional. He need to be in a straitjacket. I'm scared I'm telling you, man, I'm scared. I'm shook. I'm telling you. He need to be in a straitjacket. This guy's a nut. And he got people listening to him. Just imagine. You know what I'm talking about? Look. He even had a learning institute. Moorish Science Accelerating Learning Institute. I don't know where it was located, but let me tell you something. This been a busy man. This guy's mentally ill. Look at this stuff. Family, I think we lost count how many things he done made in the last 5 years. I think we done lost count. Anybody keeping count? Is anybody keeping count? Who follow this guy? They need their head checked out. Who the heck is following this guy? Who is his friends that's not telling him the truth? His friend's supposed to say, bro, fall back, bro. Bro, you doing way too much. Since 2015, and definitely within the last 5 years, bro, you done went nuts. Paid say, about what? About nothing. This guy's gone, man. He wants to be recognized as somebody because he's so caught up and mad because he always been a nobody. This guy's something else. Anyway, let's get to it. So one of the reasons I am of the thought that one of the reasons that he went to Freedman, because he did some research and he would find out. He did some research and he would find out that the Freedman concept, nobody jumped on it. So it was for the taking. ADOS was taken. The Moorish Science Temple of America was taken. NUWAP was taken. All of these things were taken. And so he went to history and found the Freedmen's Bureau. Now, family, I need you to follow me now. This is the fallacy of it. Listen to this. On March 3rd, 1865, Congress passed an act to establish the Bureau for Relief of Freedmen and Refugees to provide food, shelter, clothing, medical service, and land displaced Southerners, including newly freed African Americans. Family, let's go to class. Let's go to class. First of all, here is the fallacy. The Freedmen's Bureau was created for those in the South. It wasn't created for everybody. It was created for those who was caught up in the Confederacy resistance. Hold up, let me block this so you can see what I'm saying. The Freedmen's Bureau was created to get those people who was caught up in the Confederacy resistance against the Union. Once the Confederacy was neutralized, to give them some footing or to appear to give them some footing. One thing that we know in the Moorish Science Temple of America, and I'm going to talk about it in a minute, is that the 14th, and the 15th Amendment, or the 13th Amendment, they didn't free everybody because there was people already free. Press 7 if you already know that. It was people already free. The Emancipation Proclamation was to free those in the South. This is why Lincoln said, if I have to free the slave to save the Union, I will do it. He wasn't talking about the slaves in the North or the freed people in the North. He was talking about 10 rebellious states in the South. So the Freedmen's Bureau was exclusively for those in the South. So to even use the Freedmen's Bureau concept for reparations don't make sense because the Freedmen's Bureau was not for everybody. That's why you found all of the Freedmen's Bureau locations in the South. It was to help those that was held against their will with the Confederacy. But when people don't study history, an idiot can tell them anything. You understand what I'm saying? An idiot can tell them anything because it wasn't for everybody. So how can today you use the Freedmen's Bureau? How can you use the Freedmen's Bureau for all, quote unquote, African Americans when that's what it wasn't created for that? And this is why California can say, okay, we create a Freedmen's Bureau when slavery didn't even legally exist, wasn't even on the books when they came into the Union. Okay, if you want it, here, take it. And they think that I don't want reparations. No, I want it, but I don't want you to try to muddy the waters so it make it harder to get it because you don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, if you can't trace your lineage to the South, to the Confederacy, then there's no way that you can be a freedman. There's no way you can be a freedman if you can't trace your lineage to the South. So everyone that claims to be a freedman, they would have to trace themselves to the Confederacy. Now we're getting into the lesson of this. So you can get all the people you want. It's not about just being a slave now. Now you have compounded the issue a step further. Because first you have to prove that you was a slave. Now you're going to have to prove that you are descendants of freedmen. And everybody wasn't descendant of freedmen. And if you can't trace your lineage to the South, you can't be a freedman. And you got to trace your lineage to the specific 10 states, and I ain't going to tell you what they are right now. It was designed for those who was enslaved in the Confederacy states. The Emancipation Proclamation for the Confederate states that was fighting against the Union. None of it pertained to the northern states. Did y'all know that? See, when people don't know history, these internet weirdos can tell you anything. They can tell you anything. They internet weirdos. They get it. They read a few books and they say, Larry, I can use this. Let me give you an example. Slavery was abolished November the 1st, 1864. The third state constitution would abolish slavery in Maryland went into effect November the 1st, 1864. Brings me back to my point about Juneteenth. Juneteenth is a Texas thing. So all around the country, they got everybody celebrating Juneteenth for the Emancipation Day of Texans, if you will, if you want to go with the story. But every state got a separate emancipation date to some degree. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Press 7 if you understand. This is real information here. So the whole point of the matter is, if you are in Maryland, how are you a freedman? You was fighting on side of the Union. If you in Maryland, I was in Maryland. That's why Krypton say Juneteenth some BS. And I can run through Juneteenth, but I'm saying if you want to follow the Juneteenth thing, that's a Texas thing. You follow me? Now, listen. July 4th, 1827. It was not until March 31st, 1870 that New York legislature ended 2 centuries of slavery within its borders, setting July 4th, 1827 as the date of the final emancipation and making New York the first state to pass the law for the total abolition of legal slavery. How are you a freedman? This is where they muddy the waters and our people don't study. You talk about 1827? None of us was in New York in 1827. Of course we was, because they wouldn't have a abolition of slavery in 1827. So why is someone on the internet selling the idea that everyone is a freedman? They even got people putting freedman on their last name. I'm a freedman. I'm a freedman. I know I'm a freedman. Y'all see how crazy this is? Do you see how crazy this is? I'm not saying that we don't have freedmen amongst us that was captive by the Confederacy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that this internet hustle, these people start nonprofits. These people get money donated. These people are hustling. This is a hustle. These people are not qualified to determine who was directly connected to the Confederacy and who was not. These people are not qualified. This stuff is a joke. This is Lord Abba's creation, because he couldn't take over or rank high in ADOS with Yvette. He could not rank high with FBA. He could not rank high in the Moorish Science Temple of America. He could not rank high. So he went and grabbed anything. But little do he know, when he cracked slick to me, I'm not the one to crack slick with, because I do the research. I know the research. You ain't making no sense here, broski. Listen, let's keep it going. 1787, Northwest Ordinance made slavery illegal in its territories and states. Although Michigan is a part of the Northwest Territory, they are enslaved people living in Michigan until 1837. How can someone in Michigan with Michigan lineage claim to be a freedman, family? Make it make sense. It's a trick bag. Because if the legislation came up and said, well, hold up, what makes you a freedman? What Confederacy were you connected to? So now you got a twofold demonstration. One of them, the first fold is you got to prove that your lineage connects you to the the institution of slavery. And then the next thing is you got to prove that you are freedmen connected to the Confederacy. Unless they change the rules. But we know you can change the rules all you want. The standard of freedmen is etched in stone. It's in stone. We know what the Freedmen's Bureau was. We know what it was. You can't make this stuff up for reparations. You make it up for an internet movement. The Emancipation and the Freedmen's Bureau shared common features. They freed the enslaved in one sense, but re-enslaved them in another sense. What am I saying by that? The Freedmen Bureau, the emancipation, ultimately would free the slaves in the South, not the North. They freed them, and then the Freedmen's Bureau would acclimate them and re-enslave them. They would have to work for the same people that enslaved them. And this is how the slave holder would get compensated, because the slave holder would take the same slave and make them work for below low wages. Follow what I'm saying? Slaves had to take on debt in order to exit slavery. This was the Freedmen's Bureau, family. They had to take on debt. What do I mean? That you just didn't walk away. You went through the Freedmen's Bureau and you got some training. You went through the Freedmen's Bureau, you got some land, but you had to pay for it. Indentured servant type of atmosphere was back in effect for pennies. Slaves had to take on debt in order to exit slavery. This included economic debt exacted on ongoing forced and unpaid work that free people had to pay to slave owners. They worked the slave owners' land and was trained in other areas to serve Europeans post-slavery. This is fact here. This is fact here. The Freedmen's Bureau, although it sounds good, it was re-enslaving people into an economic cycle of low wages. They get paid and compensated, and the slave is still working for the slaveholder on the plantation under the illusion of free. They would teach. Listen. They would teach slaves through the Freedmen's Bureau trades. For what? To go back work for the Europeans. We didn't have anything, so they was forced to go back to work for the European. So they, in one sense, they freed the slaves, but they re-enslaved them. That's what the Freedmen's Bureau was. That's the reason it fell apart, because most European Southerners did not understand the concept. That's why it was ran by the military, because it was ran by the military because they knew that the ratchet Southerner would not understand the concept of re-enslaving people in a different way from chattel slavery. As Page said, it was the illusion of freedom. And this guy running around calling himself a freedman. He's calling himself a freedman. Now, we almost done. Slaves had to take on debt. In essence, free people had to pay for their freedom, while enslavers had to be paid to allow them to be free, working for the same people who enslaved you. That means that although you felt you was free, you was put back to work for nickels by the same people who enslaved you. And you never made enough to pull yourself together. Now, this is why everybody started going towards the North, because the North was free. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Y'all hear what I'm saying? So the Freedmen's Bureau was nothing but a redesign of bringing a new slave forth. So guess what happened? We got public school system today. Many of them are training people to go back to work for those who enslaved them. We got trade schools. None of these people, see, they talk about tethers. Let me tell you something. A Nigerian will come over here and get a doctor's degree. and they would send the money back home. A Mexican would jump the border and get some money cutting grass or whatever. They'll send some money back home. They'll live good here. They'll bring it back to their Hispanic or Mexican community here, build that community up. We go right back in the system. That's what the Freedman Bureau did. You go right back in the system. You put it right back in the system. That's the Freedman Bureau is. That's what Lord ABBA pushing, to put it right back in the system. You follow me? Listen, when you're talking about the Freedmen's Bureau, family, this is further to underscore my point. I'm gonna get out here in a minute. This is further to underscore my point. I mean, Emancipation Day for Connecticut and Rhode Island on March 1st, 1784. How are they freedmen? How are they freedmen? Make it make sense, fam. On July 4th, 1799, it dawned in New York. And I'm thinking that's, speaking of, let me make sure I double check on this. Let me double check on it. New York, New York. So we're talking about New York City, the area. I think they begin to work on it on that. So 1787. Oh, that's Michigan. So 1827. 1799. Oh, it dawned on New York, so they begin to work on it then. In 1799, it didn't hit to the 1800s. July 4th, 1804, New Jersey. After 1838, West Indian people in the United States began commemorating the British Empire Emancipation Day of August 1st. So the whole point that I'm making is that all of these people, all of these states have different days of Emancipation Day, like Juneteenth for Texas. Now, let's get to the good part real quick before I get up out of here. 8 months later, on January 1st, 1863, President Lincoln signed Emancipation Proclamation that freed the enslaved only in the Confederate States, not in the states loyal to the Union, such as, but not just these, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, Kentucky, Missouri. I want you to understand this, family, because I'm about to get into a more science understanding of this joint in a second. What I'm saying is, watch this. Emancipation Day dawned on Maryland on November 1st, 1864. In the following year, emancipation was granted on April 3rd in Virginia and May 8th in Mississippi, on May 20th in Florida. Family, what I'm telling you is that these people was fighting with the Union. They weren't fighting with the Confederacy. So even if you was in Mississippi, this is why this stuff don't work. Oh yeah. We gonna get into that too, Paige. That's right. West Indians was already here. You better know it. We gonna get into that too, Paige. Paige, I'm gonna have to knock it out the park. Now, I want to break this down and get to the point where the prophet overdrew Ali. The law served as a model for other states. Georgia authorized slavery within its borders in 1750 and enacted its own slave code 5 years later. In 1865, the passage of the 13th Amendment legally abolished slavery in the U.S. southern states. And it gave federal government control over the slave issue. Press 7 if you understand what I'm saying. Press 7 if you understand what I'm saying, family. The 13th Amendment didn't free everybody. We learned that in the Moorish Science Temple of America. We learned that in the Moorish Science Temple of America. This is why if you hear a lot of Moors say, I'm not a 13th Amendment free. We learned that in the temple. I mean, with a responsible Grand Sheikh. with a responsible grand sheik, you actually learn this. So now you got Lord ABBA saying that Prophet Noble Drew Ali, back to my point, we got Lord ABBA saying that Prophet Noble Drew Ali is what led him to this. But hold up, wait a minute now. Prophet Noble Drew Ali teaches that, let me go down here. The 14th and 15th Amendments brought the North and the South together as a unit, placing the Southerners who were at that time without power, without the constitutional body of power. And at that time, 1865, the free national government law that was in force since 1774 declared all men equal and free. And if all men are declared by the free national constitution to be free and equal, since that constitution has never been changed, there is no need for the application of the 14th and 15th Amendment. Now that alone, right? That alone goes to these points. That Prophet Noble Drew Ali, now listen, you don't got to be a Moorish American. But Prophet Noble Drew Ali saying that these amendments cannot fit. He's talking about the 14th and 15th Amendment. But when you read this stuff, that's what brought the North and the South together. But this guy claimed to be a Moorish American. But now he's saying he's a slave of the Confederacy. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Now he's saying he's a slave of the Confederacy. The teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, nah, you was created equal and free. Even if they held you captive against your will, you was created equal and free. Then they can't enact no law to free you because you are already free. We just, hey. But we know that law was not for everybody. That law, and the prophet said, it was bring the Southerner together who was without constitution power. That's what Prophet Noble Drew Ali says. It wasn't for everybody. Why? Because it was other people. I just showed you the other dates. People were free. They might being mistreated. But from a law standpoint, from a legal standpoint, every state has different emancipation days. You follow me? Let me go over this real quick and I'm going to get out of here. The Civil War ended April 9th, 1865. And you can get this from the Library of Congress. With General Robert E. Lee surrender the Confederate Army. Y'all see this? With General Robert Lee, let me pull this out for you. With General Robert E. Lee surrender the Confederate Army to the Union Army, the country was in complete chaos. How could a country that was so strongly divided mend itself into one cohesive unit? What would happen to the over 3.5 million enslaved persons who have now been freed? With the Emancipation Proclamation issued by President Abraham Lincoln to take effect July 1st, 1863, the aim of the Civil War, listen, this is history. You get this at the Library of Congress. The aim of the Civil War, let me break it down to you. The aim issued take 1863. The aim of the Civil War evolved into include the liberation of enslaved African Americans in 10 rebellious states. Family, who did it free? We didn't learn this in school. We learned that it freed everybody. No, it was people already free. Who did it free? Say it with me, family. The 13th Amendment, which also was passed December 6, 1865, made slavery illegal in the United States. This is what they saying made them free. No. 10 rebellious states. Go do your homework, family. So what point am I making? The point I'm making is that when you say you're a freedman, now connect yourself to one of the 10 rebellious states in the South. Everybody ain't gonna be able to do that. It was free people all over the place. You hear what I say? It was free people all over the place. Hold up. this down. On December the 8th, 1865, the 13th Amendment was ratified, abolishing slavery throughout the United States. This was the first 3 Reconstruction Amendments to the United States Constitution. This did not free anybody. People were already free. No, when it was ratified, no, a proclamation ain't even law. No, it was ratified later, but people were already free, is my point. This was the first of 3 Reconstruction Amendments to the U.S. Constitution, giving Congress new power to define and protect civil rights at a federal level. It didn't free anybody. During Reconstruction, the period following the Civil War and lasted until 1877, one essential organization was established to secure the newly freed enslaved persons. They're talking about the people in the South. You hear what I say? They're not talking about everybody. Let me open this back up before I get out of here. I'm almost done. We had a nice lesson tonight. Enslaved persons needed to live as free citizens, including land, family, education, safety, and justice. None of that came through. In March of 1865, an act of Congress established the U.S. Bureau of Refugees, Freedmen, and Abandoned Lands, commonly known as the Freedmen's Bureau. The Bureau was established to assist in political and social reconstruction of post-war Southern states. And help formerly enslaved Americans transition from slavery to freedom and citizenship in the Southern states. So to my point, this freedman stuff, you should already know. It's another internet hustle. It's another internet hustle. Make no mistake about it. It's another internet hustle. I can get into the nonprofit that was created. I can get into all that. By way L. I can get to all that. They create these nonprofits. They funnel all of the resources through that. And, hey, get as many people as they can to follow this nonsense. But the people don't know who he is for real. They don't know who he is for real. Until someone like me come along and say, do you know how many organizations he been in? Well, Crip, they're using the term refugees because you got to remember that the Confederate, you got to understand the context that the Confederacy was a whole nother country. The Confederacy was a whole nother country. And so if the United States would take over a country today, those people that are citizens of that country would be considered refugees. You know what I'm saying? And so because the Confederate States was a whole nother country, once they merged them, the people was considered refugees once they took it over, the people was considered refugees until they became acclimated. And I call it re-enslavement. It was re-enslavement. You know what I'm saying? So if the guy's out here selling people on the concept of freedmen, when we know everybody is not going to meet that level of burden of proof to show that they're freedmen, how everybody going to get paid? This is what I'm saying. It's another hustle. This guy made himself a Grand Sheik of the Moorish. He made himself a Supreme Grand Sheik, family. That means he was the highest. Look at that. When you see him with that little sash on right there, he said he's the Supreme Grand Sheik. He the Supreme Grand Sheik. Everywhere he went, listen, if you look at, let me show this video for a second. Let me show you something. He made himself his own charm, his own adapt charm. The Prophet Obadiah Ali established the more ways and four ways of the Most High temporary. He created everything himself. Everything himself. He created that demonstration. I'm trying to tell you, look at this here.
The sheriff had violated. He just bust in the crib and grabbed me
Prophet Noble, y'all see that charm?
From
The
a
Circle
war-
7 right there? He made that himself. I mean, and I don't mean he made himself. There's no such thing. 1 second. There is no such thing. I'm going to get out here in a second. I think I did it. I did this justice. There is no such thing as a black Circle 7 charm as it relates to connected to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. He made that joint himself. You see that on his thing? He made it himself. He made it himself. I'm not saying that people don't make it themselves. Obviously, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. But there is that is not Moorish regalia. My charm came from the same guy who made me an ADAP and filed me legally on the record in the county of Cook. Let me show you something. Let me show you. Let me knock it out the park about the guy who filed me. I mean, I'm really not using that to establish me as anything, because the work that need to be done to uplift our people supersedes any title that someone gives you or someone acknowledges you as. Or that mean it just. Give me 1 second. Let me find this real quick. I'm gonna show you how it's legitimately done. It ain't done in a barber shop. I mean, let me see. It ain't done in a barber shop. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. It definitely ain't done in a barber shop. You know how it's actually done? When you are made a legitimate grant, and this is what people need to do who are members of Moorish Science Temple of America to keep it a whole stack. You need to ask people where they get their credentials from. Who made you a sheik? How long you been around? I don't care if you've been around 20 years. Who confirmed you as a sheik? Look, you can go in the county of Cook and see my name right here, T. Johnson Bey. T. Johnson Bey, Sheik, Temple 13. That's where I was made a Sheik in Temple 13 in September 15, 2015 AD by David Baliel. And these are the people that was made Sheiks with me. You can go into the county of Cook and get this yourself. I did not put it there. Nobody gave it to me in a barbershop. Nobody gave it to me in a barbershop. So you can go look up the religious organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America. You can find me whether you choose to accept what I teach or not. Whether you choose to accept me be legitimate or not, don't make no difference to me. You know what I mean? You can go and find the paper trail on me. That's the difference between me and them. That's the difference. That's the difference between me and these people. That's the difference. I'm not them. They not like us. You might don't like how I deliver this. And when I say we are the noble temples, no, we are the Moorish Science Temple of America. But we use the term noble temples so we can make a distinction from these frauds out there. And we continue to use noble temples as a euphemism, as affectionately known, as a styled as. So when you see a Moorish Science Temple of America and it don't have noble temples connected to it, as a styled as, in other words, we only say we noble temples. Legally, lawfully, we are the Moorish Science Temple of America. But for the public, know the difference between us and these frauds. We use the term noble temples. What's up, Chalky Mayat? Abu X, we got one. What up, Friday? This is one for the books, Cryptonomics. What up, Hope Owens? We got one. Takaya. What up, Rogers? Man, we cooking, Demetrius. Let me cook. I'm gonna do the old school dance. I'm a Cabbage Patch on out there. I'm a Cabbage Patch out this joint. Friday L. Let me Cabbage Patch out there. Ephraim, let me Cabbage Patch, man. Let me robot out this joint, A. Rogers. Hey, that they got a love for Europe. Shout out to Starlight. Everybody, thumbs up. Appreciate you. Shout out to Starlight. Appreciate you. My new way to celebrate summer solstice. Make GS smile. I'm smiling, Starlight. Yeah. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. Yeah. I'll be that more you gon' remember. Taharkabey front line till the law call my number. I don't think there's anybody that got more credentials than myself. I didn't make this stuff up. You know GS ain't got no rhythm. Let me rap. Let me wop. Let me wop. Let me wop for Zakaya. Let me wop. Yes, indeed. Man, I thank y'all, man. I will be back. I will be back on Saturday, family. Oh, man. This was one for the books. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. I'll be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I'll be that more you gon' remember. Taharkabey front line till the law call my number. I'll be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. Yes, indeed. Sugared up. Sugared up in the building. I'll be that more you gon' remember. Be more. He's sugared up. But that's our family. And we love them just the same. Yeah. They work for the books, baby. Let's go.
That's right, global African supremacy. That gas, baby. Got to have that gas. I got to make it move. That's right, global African supremacy. Got to hurt somebody. That's right, global African supremacy. Somebody got to get hurt. That's right, global African supremacy. That's right, global African supremacy. That gas, baby. Got to have that